Hello, I thought I would do something a little bit different this week, and that was to be a little bit less scripted and just try and share with you what my thoughts are on what I think is by far the most important thing in photography. And if you've followed the channel for any length of time, you know that that's composition. But I wanted to talk about why I think composition is so important, why it's something that I truly focus on. So let's go for a wee walk, let's talk a little bit more about composition, and hopefully you can learn a thing or two, maybe. So all of that said, why is composition so important to me and to most photographers? Well, one of the things I talk about a lot is it's very easy to get overwhelmed by a subject. So if you think you're going to go and see a waterfall, a building, a tree, or whatever it may be, you spent a lot of time travelling to get there, everything looks great, and you're solely focused on that object. But what great photographers do is they think about how that subject fits in their surroundings, and then they try and compose an image that complements the subject rather than tries to fight with it, creating some space in the background, having some sky or a space between two trees and then putting the subject in it. Things like that. So basically, it's not about the subject itself, it's about what you do with it. I've heard that somewhere before. So I've stopped here because this is a great example of what I'm talking about placing your subject in the right place. So for this experiment, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be your subject, so I'm sorry about that. But hopefully what you can notice is that the background behind me slopes in on either side, and I'm framed right in that gap, so there's a little bit of space round about here that you can see up to the sky. And not only that, I've put the tripod lower, so you're now shooting up towards me, which complements the ground behind moving upwards to the mountains and the sky. So have a think about that. It's not just where you place your subject, but the angle that you shoot as well. Because if you imagine if the tripod was up here looking down at me, all you would see is this rather lovely bunch of weeds behind me. And that's a note, I need to stay out of those, because after my trip to Oban, I came home with 5 little passengers that had to be cut out rather surgically, which have led to quite a bit of pain in my legs. I've had my first attack of ticks, so I won't be wearing shorts in long grass like that anymore. I probably shouldn't have done that in Oban. You see, composition is a skill that needs to be learned over time, and it's probably fair to say that you will never ever truly master it. But that doesn't mean that you should never try the journey anyway, because all great photographers go out to try and improve what they do with their photographs, where they place the elements within it, and the story that they manage to tell by doing so. So don't think about composition like something on a checklist. Yep, I've learned that, because you never will. You'll just get better and better and better the more that you practice. And a great example here is this little structure. It's too easy when you go out with your camera to walk by something like this and think, there's a photograph. But when you have a look about, I'm actually struggling to see how I would take a photograph of that, because I don't want to just come home with that fill in the frame. I need to have a relationship maybe between that and the mountains in the background. So I would spend a good bit of time here walking about, looking at it from different angles. The sun's currently behind the clouds. I'd wait to see what happens when that comes out. And then, and only then, if I think there's a shot, will I take it? But what I do more and more these days is if I can't find a shot, if I can't compose a good image, then I'm not taking the shot and the camera isn't coming out the bag. And here's another good example. There's a lovely tree in the background that you might want to take a photograph of. The sun's coming in and out from behind the clouds, so it does look pretty good. We're seeing some dappled light on this sort of burnt looking grass. But is this the best shot that I can take with my camera? So give me a couple of seconds, I'm going to move the camera and see if you think this looks better. So now what we've done is, again, we've put the tripod down really low. You're now about the level of the grass. And not only that, we've brought in some of the purple buds of the thistles that are starting to bloom round about us. And I think it gives a much more pleasing sort of look to the photograph. And again, you can even see you're looking up at me and you're looking up at that tree in the background. So again, just by bending the knee, you would get a far better shot here. When you see grass like this, get down and get low to it. Don't be standing up tall and taking photographs at eye level. Change up your perspective and your results will get much better. Oh, and I'm definitely now going to need to check myself for ticks. You're welcome. And in this shot, it's very obvious that there's a leading line coming all the way from the camera to me, which takes you to the centre of the frame, and then you can start to look round about me to see what's there. So again, it's about keeping your eyes open and looking for things like this, and not just taking a photograph of the trees and the mountains. And the last example for now is when you're way above me, so you're now looking down, it changes the entire dynamic of the shot. I start to feel a little bit more diminished, but I have put some thought into the composition. The bench is right in the middle, the sun is behind me, so I'm backlit. But again, it's not the hero shot. You're now looking down and it creates a sense of foreboding. Why is he sitting on the bench? What's going on in his life? And you can start to tell some stories by, again, simply just changing the angle of your camera. Because if you catch a pocket of light like this, you're instantly drawn to the subject in the frame. You don't have to have it in the centre. You could put it off to the left or to the right. But again, because the light is hitting this area, it just naturally draws your viewer's eye to the subject. So again, this has nothing to do with what's in the landscape. It's all about what the light's doing. And you can find compositions in the most mundane of places, as long as you know what to look for. So hopefully now you can see why I've fallen in love with composition. Because to me, it replaces a lot of those other things that people get focused on, like buying new cameras, new lenses. It's always great to get some new gear, but it doesn't make you a better photographer if you don't know the fundamentals. So instead of the next time you're on YouTube watching videos, unless they're mine of course, why not search for the word composition or phenomenal photographers and how they use composition? Because I promise you, what you will learn in that 10 or 15 minutes will make you a much better photographer than finding out how the autofocus system works on a new camera body. Like I already said in the video, you never master composition, you just get continually better at it, but you have to keep experimenting. Look at just now, for example, the sun's went behind the clouds and the whole place looks entirely different. You need to be able to react to that, and you need to know how to make the most of that. Things are flat, but I've brought in a leading line, which makes things a little bit more interesting. Behind you, there's sun rays kicking off through the sun, but because I don't know how to use the Pocket 4, I'm not even going to attempt to film that. But I would take a photograph of that. So we're looking for shapes, light, positions, leading lines, symmetry, chaos. There's so many different things that you need to start thinking about, and not just raising your camera to your eye and saying, click, I got the thing, whatever that thing may be. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's been a little bit different from what I usually do, but to be honest, I'm up against the clock to try and get this video made, because by the time you see it, I should be on day 3 on a trip to Marrakesh. So stay tuned to the channel. If you haven't already subscribed, then come along and see what happens with the photographs and videos that I get over there. What this? This is my new ride. Gone is the Volkswagen Tiguan, and more importantly, gone is the tent box on top of it, because after 2 days sleeping it in Mull, my old back did not like me for several days. So that's another good reason to stay tuned to the channel, because a lot's going to be happening to this thing over the next few weeks and months. So if you haven't subscribed, now's the time to do it. Thanks for watching, guys. And as always, I will see you in the next one.